Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Hub back in another video today. And today I'm going to talk about what the Chicago Bulls offseason should look like after being eliminated last week by the Miami Heat in a blowout loss, 112-91. Chicago just got killed against Miami. Now I watched Miami play last night against the Boston Celtics in Game 2, I'm thinking now, how could I ever thought that they would have lost to Chicago? It's currently Thursday. I'm recording Thursday morning after yesterday's Game 2s, which was the Celtics and the Heat and the Pelicans and the Thunder. Now, a little bit late on this video. I've been meaning to do this for a couple days now. Was going to do this Monday or Tuesday. Got a little busy. But I wanted to do what I thought the Bulls' offseason plan should look like. But, I thought the Bulls would end up beating the... I really did. I really thought the Bulls would end up taking down the Heat and go to the playoffs. And honestly, to be honest with all of you guys... if the Bulls would have beat the Heat, which I know they didn't, I think most likely, in a perfect world, I don't see the Bulls getting a win against the Boston Celtics. I really don't. I know Miami got a win without Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier against Boston last night, but yeah, I don't think the Bulls would get a single win off the Boston Celtics. If they would have beat Miami and went on to face Boston, I don't think they would have won one single game. So, all right, I want to get to what I think this offseason should look like for the Chicago Bulls, and I think you have to start off by getting rid of some faces that have to go. Some guys that you've been holding on to, in my opinion, for too long in the trade market. I think these are some guys that, if you look at it, they could have had the chance to get more value for some of these guys. I think both of these two guys I'm about to talk about, they have held them for, in my opinion, too long, and I think they could have walked away with a lot more assets if they moved them earlier on. I think one of the players that is in this trade that I'm about to go over, they really hurt from his injury problems this past season, and I think that maybe they would have been better as a team potentially. And I'm gonna get into this trade in just a second, but going into this offseason, I think the goal has to be we have to be better than we were in the last two seasons, because there has been no movement, there's been no change for the Chicago Bulls team. The seeding, they improved their seeding by 1 seed this season, okay? That's an improvement, right? You went from being the 10 seed in the 2022-23 season to the 9 seed. But at the same time, you went up 1 spot in the seeding, but you're still at the same number of wins. You won 40 games in the 22-23 season. You won 39 this year. So your win total actually got, worse, but just by 1 game. So I think for Chicago, you can't be at rebuild stage. I mean, look, I don't know if everybody remembers back a couple years ago when Chicago was in that rebuild stage. They went through so many years of rebuilding. I think it was from the 2000. I think they made the playoffs in the 2016-17 season. And that's when they still had Jimmy Butler. They had Rajon Rondo. They had a nice team, Dwayne Wade. But then after that year, they started to go downhill. And they didn't make the playoffs until the 2020-21 or no, did they? I don't think they made the playoffs until the 2000. I don't think they made they were the 11th seed in the 2021 season. So then they made the postseason in the 21-22 season, and 2017-18 season. I don't think they made the postseason. They were the 13th seed in the 2017-18 season. 2018-19 season, they were the 13th seed again. 2019-20 season, they were the 11th seed. The 2021 2020-21 season. I already went over that. They were the 11 seed. So they went through, and then the 16-17 season, they were the 8 seed. So they went through so many years of rebuilding from the 2017-18 season all the way through the 2020-21 season. They went through a total of 4 years of rebuilding. They selected multiple guys in the draft. I just don't see the Bulls going back to rebuild stage. I think the Bulls have wasted 4 seasons doing that. And I just don't see them doing that. Maybe more of a potentially rebrand. Maybe like not just a revamp for this Bulls team, I would say. But they're a team that have been in the playoffs the last couple years. They were in the playoffs the season before that as the 8 seed. So they definitely have some talent, but I would say the problem is that, I would say the problem is they've been stuck in the same position the last 2 years. And I think for the Bulls this offseason, the goal has to be, we have to be better than we were last year. We have to, we have to get, we have to go over 40 wins. We have to be higher than the 9th seed. We have to make an improvement when, then it's been the last 2 seasons. And how do we make that happen? So let's get into what I have the Bulls doing. I think the Bulls should trade away Zach LaVine, who averaged 20 points per game this season, and Alex Caruso, who's a arguably top 10 defender, if not top 12 in the NBA. And here's the package I think Chicago could and probably would get back. Davion Mitchell, Harrison Barnes, Sasha Venskov, and Kevin Huerter. 2026 first-round pick, top 10 protected, and 2028 top 8 protected. Then trade away Lonzo Ball. Get rid of Lonzo. Lonzo, I don't feel great in him coming back. So I would say trade Lonzo, package Javon Carter, who is definitely gone for this Bulls team, and a 2027 top 10 protected first-round pick for Jonathan Isaac and 3 second-round picks. You gotta trade a bad contract for a bad contract. I don't know if the Bulls would cut Jonathan Isaac, but he is a solid defender, so I think that could be someone that the Bulls might want to keep off the bench. So I want to move into what do you do next if you're the Chicago Bulls. After that, you've traded away Lonzo, you've traded away Javon Carter to the Magic, you've got Jonathan Isaac, you've added in Harrison Barnes, Davion Mitchell, Kevin Huerter, Sasha Venskov, Zach's gone, Alex is gone, Lonzo's gone, Javon Carter's gone. If you really think about it, 2 of those 4 guys that are gone were not making an impact on the team. Zach had only played 25 games. Lonzo has not played the last two and a half seasons. Javon Carter was barely playing in the rotation, so he's like a half a player. The only guy that was effective on this team is Alex Caruso. And you've gotten some good players back in return, like Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter, who's a good defender, and also Jonathan Isaac. So you're replacing Caruso with some good defenders, and you're getting good draft picks as well, getting 3 second-round picks, 2 first-round picks. You only have to give up 1 first-round pick back. I don't think these are not terrible moves by the Bulls, because a lot of 3 of these 4 players that they're giving up have not been a part of what they've been doing. Zach only played 25 games this season. Lonzo didn't play at all. Javon Carter was barely a part of the rotation. The only guy that was a part of that team in that rotation and a starter for this Bulls team was Alex Caruso. So what happens next? After you do that, you have some free agents. I think these are some must re-signs for the Bulls. And here are the guys I think you got to bring back. You got to start off by re-signing DeMar DeRozan. He was excellent for this Bulls team this year. He wants to stay in Chicago. It's a no-brainer to re-sign him. Then you got a restricted free agent like Pat Williams. You got to bring him back. You're going to bring him back anyways. I don't think there's any worry about not re-signing him. And then you got Andre Drummond. I know a lot of people thinking Andre Drummond are going to walk. He's going to walk. Bring Andre Drummond back. Other teams were having a hard time going up against Andre Drummond and Nikola Vucevic when Billy Donovan would put those 2 guys on the floor together. They need to keep doing that, and it's something that worked for this Bulls team. You got to continue to do that. So for me, that basically wraps up this off season, what I think they should do. And also, final thing, you would have a draft pick. You have your draft pick this year. I think they got to draft in the top 10. They're gonna have a top 12, whatever it is. Draft Cody Williams from Colorado. I think he's going to be a guy could use a small forward. He's going to be a guy that's going to be available in in that area. So he could be a decent option for this Bulls team. What does the team look like after that? You got your backcourt as Ayo Dosunmu at point guard, Kobe White at shooting guard. Look, these two guys played well enough this past season to earn that spot. Then you have DeMar at the 3. You have Patrick Williams at the 4. Hopefully he can stay healthy. You have Nikola Vucevic at the 5. Then guys off the bench, you have Harrison Barnes. You have Davion Mitchell. You have Andre Drummond, Kevin Huerter, Jonathan Isaac. You have a youngster like Cody Williams who eventually would get a chance, Sasha Venskov. So I think this team also, one thing is improved shooting is something that this team would have. I mean, adding in Kevin Huerter, great three-point shooter. Jonathan Isaac is a very solid three-point shooter as well. Davion Mitchell is a good three-point shooter. Harrison Barnes is a good three-point shooter. Yes, Caruso is a good three-point shooter, but you're talking about 4 good three-point shooters coming in and 1 going out. So, I really think this Bulls team would be improved. Through their three-point shooting would be improved. I know you're taking a defensive loss in Alex Caruso, but you're bringing in nice defenders like Jonathan Isaac and Kevin Huerter. So I don't think, I think this would be a solid team. And if Ayo Dosunmu and Kobe White and DeMar DeRozan could do what they did last season, and Nikola Vucevic as well, if those 4 guys can play the way they did last year, and they added in those pieces, I think the Bulls could be a good team next year. Could be this time actually in the postseason, potentially as an 8 or 7 seed. But they'd have to play consistent basketball and stay healthy. That's the problem. Let me know your thoughts on this potential offseason in the comment section, and peace out.